This is most broken builds in Baldurs Gate 3 patch 8. Unlimited spell slots, insane damage, and even unlimited actions. But we start with godlike unkillable build that you can start right from the get-go. Hail and matches kings and queens. It's me, Spot the King, and as much as I like not very overpowered role-playing builds, sometimes I like a little bit exploitative and broken combinations. That's what you will see over here. So this first one looks like a godlike build, but it's not that simple and will fall off in Act 2 pretty easily. That's how you build it. Our main goal is to get 3 levels in Druid and at least 1 level in Cleric. And it completely doesn't matter which class you will start with. I would always go for Druid, because when we need 3 levels in Druid, it will help us beating early game a little bit easier. But still, in Baldur's Gate 3 you can get level 4 without fighting. Still, our main spellcasting ability is Wisdom, that's why focusing on Wisdom is a smart choice. Constitution to have nice concentration, and Dexterity for Initiative. Concentration is actually less important than Initiative, so I would go with 16 Dex, 14 Constitution, 16 Wisdom, and 4 points can be allocated however you like. I would go for Strength for more jumping distance in case we need it. As I told you, leveling is extremely simple, and we can even utilize new subclass for Druid, Circle of the Stars. At level 2, at level 3 we just pick Druid and unlock level 2 spells. The one we need is Moonbeam, and at level 4 we multi-class into Cleric, into any class. Since we're using light magic, light domain sounds smart, and it works extremely simple. We just need to cast Long Strider on ourselves before the fight, as well as enhance Leap to have ability to jump for more distance and move around the battle in case we need it. As Star Druid we can use Study Form, and we're interested in Dragon. It's not really useful for us, but still it's nice in case something will go wrong, because it will give us ability to roll concentration always at least for 10. That's one of the best forms for using concentration spells, of course. And basically we start a fight with Moonbeam. Cast it on enemy, it deals some damage, and it doesn't look like a big chunk of damage. We hit it just for 7 radiant damage, and it will depend will target succeed on saving throw or not. So he succeeds, he takes half the damage. And now we don't need to use any spell slots, and Moonbeam uses spell slot level 2 by the way. We just can move Moonbeam on upcoming turns by using only action. Even by not moving it but recasting on the same spot, we will deal damage to enemy, and the problem is everyone will be targeting us right now. So our best idea is to avoid damage completely. We can do it with Sanctuary. It will use level 1 spell slot, 1 bonus action, so you can do it on the same turn of the battle start. Sanctuary works extremely simple. You can't be targeted by enemies until you attack or harm a creature, but we can take damage from large area spells and stuff like that, so be aware of fireballs. Still, the coolest part, enemies will take damage not only on turn we do damage to them, but also when they start their turn. Look at this goblin Boyak. She will take damage just right now, and she burned by a sacred light. Enemies just running around, they can't target us, we're still affected by Sanctuary. So basically we're moving this Moonbeam that dealing 2d10 damage, but in reality 4d10, because we are attacking targets on our turn and they take damage on their turn, and we can freely move around for 10 turns. So that's basically the combat. Enemies can do anything, they can't even affect us, while we're basically frying them like hot potatoes. Using action to move is also okay, but don't forget you use an action to move Moonbeam. So what to do when Sanctuary goes off? That's basically the reason why we used long jump spell. We just disengage, leave the combat, and recast our buffs later on. This build is just godlike in Act 1. Just imagine you make this exact build for full party. But here's the catch, right when you go to Act 2, the build will kinda stop working, because right now if you cast Moonbeam in open area, it will just look like this. You casting Moonbeam, it looks fine, but if you move to Shadow Curse area, to open basically, then it won't work everywhere. For example, it's fine in area near Tolwyn House, but if you will try to fight right outside of Moonrise Towers, this will be instantly broken concentration. Still, there's ways how you can combat this. Basically, if you know where you can cast this Moonbeam and it will stay there, you can engage into combat, enemies will charge at you, but with Sanctuary they can't focus you down, don't forget this. And you just just lure them into areas where you can cast Moonbeam on them. Yeah, it's a little bit tedious if you will play it like that. But this is to prove that build is actually works in technically any circumstances, even when you can't cast Moonbeam outside in Shadow Curse area. If only we would have unlimited spell slots. Yeah, we will by the way, but more on that later. Since it's more important to have ability to keep the spells alive for longer, and it's really easy to do. Basically at level 5 we're changing our subclass to Sorcerer, and again it completely doesn't matter which Sorcerer you will take, why, but I suggest Storm Sorcery. And after getting few levels in Storm Sorcery, first of all you can get Feather Fall, so you can cast it before the battle and have ability to jump and land on the ground, completely safe, but most importantly Metamagic extended spell. While leveling focus on getting more wisdom, and technically that's kinda final form of our build. With extended spell we can improve duration of our spells. It will work on Moonbeam as well as on Sanctuary, so duration will be extended to 20 turns. Basically you're upcasting Moonbeam with extended spell, and just for one sorcery point you will have this beam for 20 turns. Add Sanctuary to the mix, and now you get 20 turns of protection with 20 turns of this crazy overpowered Moonbeam that dealing 8d10 damage, so it can potentially damage targets for 80 damage in one single turn. But also after moving Moonbeam you will get ability to fly. Yeah, actually right now you don't even need this Feather Falls and stuff like that. With Sorcerer you can use this magic to fly, and you're becoming truly godlike creature, moving Moonbeams, flying around right after you damage enemies, and that's completely broken. If only we had unlimited turns. And yeah, by the way, we will have unlimited turns, more on that later, but for now. The second build we're going for right now is basically universal build that you can actually slam on any class. We will go to Underdark Seal Knight Outpost. Basically near the teleport on Seal Knight Outpost you can jump over here and you will find opulent chest. Inside there will be luminous armor, so just grab it. Depending on how you went to this Seal Knight Outpost teleport location, you actually could have one more item for our build. It's located over here in Defiled Temple, gilded chest near the bed. So this will be Amulet of Misty Step. For boots, you go to Myconid Colony, speak with Blork, and finish his friend's quest by getting some mushrooms in Arcane Tower that is located right in the middle of Seal Knight Outpost and Underdark Beach over here. You will get Boots of Stormy Clamor, but another really good option for our build is Boots of Striding. You can get it from Mintara, and first of all you will get momentum, more movement speed when you cast concentration spells, but also you will be protected from being knocked out prone. That's really a big one because whenever you fall, you will break concentration. And one more powerful item in Crash Yelek. It will be located in this elegant chest in the boss room. If you want to get it without a fight, make sure you get Minor Illusion cantrip and drop it so you can stay outside of enemy sight of range. Basically over here will work. When enemy is not looking, just steal a chest, no one will notice, and run away. That's how it works. Goodbye. The item we are looking is Gloves of Illegend Skies. And there's one more item located in Rosewind Monastery. It will be over here. Elegant chest on top. I mean painted chest. Too much elegant chests in this video. With Holy Lens Helmet. A ring combination of Kalos Glow Ring and Coruscation Ring. One can be found if you go into Last Light Inn and investigate chamber. There will be a cracked door, secret chamber, and there will be chest with this ring. Another one in Temple of Shar, behind the wall door near the Balthazar. You can lockpick it, but it's pretty hard. Difficulty class is insane, but level 2 knock spell will do the job as always. We're getting Boots of Stormy Clamor to inflict reverberation whenever we inflict condition, and reverberation will give penalty to saving throws in strength, dexterity and constitution, as well as ability to inflict thunder damage. Since most of our damage is radiant, with Gloves of Illegend Skies we can inflict a reverberation by dealing thunder damage. And reverberation is also conditioned, so it will activate 2 turns of reverberation from Boots. Another condition is called Radiating Orb, that will give penalty to enemies' attack rolls. This stacks a lot and it's completely broken. And we will inflict Radiating Orb with Radiant Shockwave in 3-meter radius around us, and this can be inflicted by wearing luminous armor and dealing radiant damage. Since Moonbeam is radiant damage, this will basically activate luminous armor, we will inflict Radiating Orb, and Reverberation at the same time. It will give stacks to Boots of Stormy Clamor. They will inflict Reverberation. Reverberation will be stuck and inflict Thunder damage. That will inflict more Reverberation from Gloves of Billiging Skies. And we will advance this build even more with Coruscation Ring that will give a Radiating Orb when we're dealing damage to enemies who is highlighted. So basically we need a Torchlight in our hand or any weapon affected by light, cantrip, or some weapons just have light in them. And Callous Glow Ring that will deal extra 2 points of damage, radiant damage by the way, against creatures who is eliminated. And Amulet of Misty Step, that's just cherry on top of our cake, have ability to travel in case we need or disengage. How powerful this build? I mean, it's completely OP. Well, this universal build again will work technically for any character. You can slam it even on Barbarian and it will work. But the best class will be of course Cleric, and especially Cleric of Light Domain. Focus on Wisdom for spellcasting and spell save DC, and Strength, Dexterity, Constitution for survival, damage and armor class and initiative. On second level, this Cleric will get Radiance of Dawn, which is insanely powerful radiant damage source. You can get Warcaster feat to get advantage on saving throws to keep your concentration. On level 5 you will unlock Spirit Guardians, which is another insane radiant damage source. And most importantly, you will have Warding Flare as this type of Cleric, so you can impose disadvantage on attack rolls. If enemy tries to hit you, you can force them to reroll this attack roll basically. Also, I'd suggest when you're building this character to start as level 1 fighter. This will give you Constitution saving throw proficiency, so you don't need to use a Resilient feat to have this proficiency of Constitution, and instead you can go for Medium Armor Master, because we will use this medium armor, we can get more armor class pretty easily. You run with any mace that got radiant damage or light damage, it doesn't matter. And I totally forgot about Holy Lance Helmet, of course. Whenever creatures miss us, they will take 1d4 radiant damage. So now, remember this, when they take radiant damage while they illuminated by light source, they will take Radiating Orb, as well as extra points of radiant damage that will trigger Radiant Orb, that is condition, that will trigger Reverberation, that will trigger Thunder damage and radiant damage from Gloves of Billiging Skies, and I'm not even talking about Luminous Armor that will also deal radiant damage, I mean Radiant Shockwave whenever we deal radiant damage. How it looks like, it's completely broken. All you need to do is to just start fight. And all you do is to cast Spirit Guardian, you can upcast them to level 6 for 68 damage, and that's pretty big number. And hit enemy, that's it. Radius of Spirit Guardians is exactly 3 meters, so when you come close it will instantly affect them with damage and Radiant Orb, 2 points of Radiant Orb, 4 points of Reverberation. He tries to hit us, but he missed, he takes Radiant damage, he takes Thunder damage, he fall prone, now he lies on the floor, he can do anything. This lady, inflicted with some Radiant damage as well as Thunder damage, she will try to hit us, and she rolled critical hit, but come on, we are Light Cleric, we can use Warding Flare, so she will miss and take bunch of radiant damage as well as thunder damage. She will fall prone. Now enemies need to find a way how to come close to us, but come on, they all fright. Why Radiating Orb is so powerful? Just look here. It stacks up to 10 times, and they will have -1 attack roll for each turn remaining. So bunch of most powerful enemies will hit with these stats. Basically they will add +3 from proficiency, +2 from tactician difficulty, a little bit more on honor mode if I'm not mistaken, and +4 from strength modifier, for a total of +9. But if he is affected by 10 turns of Radiating Orb, he will have -10 to attack roll. This means he got no chance to hit us when he is affected by full stacks of Radiant Orb. And on next turn we're definitely doing Radiance of Dawn that will affect and destroy enemies with the radiant damage around us. We'll inflict more Radiant Orbs and basically will make it impossible for enemy to hit us. This build is so cool and so powerful that you can use it again on any build basically. Whenever you deal damage, you will also deal a lot of extra damage. And this is not only good for you, but also for your party members, because all these guys will have penalty to attack your party members. So we kinda need a good party member who can unleash damage at this point. Yeah, we will have one, by the way. He is so broken with so much damage. But I promise you to show how to make unlimited spell slots. So there's an easiest way. Basically all you need is character with spell slots. So it could be any character that got spell slots. Otherwise So why do you even need like unlimited spell slots? And you need Sorcerer, so you can multiclass as Sorcerer for any class technically and get 2 points in Sorcerer. You will unlock these 2 actions. One action called create spell slot, so you create sorcery points to unlock spell slots. Basically for 2 sorcery points you can get spell slot of level 1, and that's what you get at level 2 of Sorcerer, so you can get easily 4 spell slots, pretty nice in early game, and you can do it in other way. You can use your spell slots to create sorcery points. Game of course is balanced, you know, it's fairly balanced, so we spent 2 sorcery points to create 1 spell slot, but 1 spell slot will create only 1 sorcery point. It's pretty smart balance, so we can't get unlimited resource by doing this interaction every now and then. Or do we? To speed things up, I leveled my Sorcerer to maximum right now, but you can start doing it even if you arrive to Act 2 as level 6, basically even as level 2 character. All you need to do is to speak with Lantarf. He will always have 2 potions of Angelic Reprieve in his arsenal. You can steal them by casting Darkness, and with nice sneak character you can buy them if you know how to get unlimited money. You can use some shop glitches, wherever you like, but basically you need these potions. But we bought 2 potions. How to get more? It's extremely simple. Go back to camp and create hirelings that you don't need with wizards. It will cost you 100 gold, and any hireling will work, it doesn't matter. Don't forget, you can just pickpocket wizards and get all your gold back. He won't be mad, by the way, so that's completely free way to do it. Now leave the camp and level up hireling once. It doesn't matter like which class you choose, just go for barbarian, so you don't need to make any choices. And after leveling any character, all you need to do is to just buy more potions. This way you can basically buy unlimited supplies of potions, lotions, arrows, and whatever you need, petal. But anyway, we're here for unlimited spell slots. Loop is extremely simple. First of all, you create sorcery points, and you're doing it by using level 1 spell slots. I will speed up footage a little bit, but basically you want to use all spell slots number 1 and all spell slots number 2. Then you bump potion of Angelic Reprieve, and what it's doing, you're basically turning for 2-turn sleep. And after you wake up, you get all your spell slots back, as well as created spell slots. So technically full loop will be like this. Spend all spell slots, get as much sorcery points as possible. You got 32 sorcery points now, create spell slots of level 2. So you got 10 spell slots, for example. Go into slumber, wake up, you got all spell slots back, create sorcery points again. And every time you wake up, you get all your spell slots back. Technically you can get basically unlimited spell slots of level 1 and 2. If you wish to spend some time, you can even create spell slots of level 5, but it will require you a little bit more of time. So with this resource you're definitely geared up to tackle any challenge you will face. And again, if only we had unlimited turns. But unlimited turns only cool when you get unlimited and insane amount of damage. The next mechanic I will show you will give you exactly that. And the full potential of the next mechanic can be achieved with the right leveling. So we want pretty weird leveling. Main class will be Warlock, but we will start as Paladin. Subclass won't matter a lot, but I like Vengeance, and just focus on Initiative and Charisma. This is final build by the way, so you technically need to respec it after around level 8, so basically in Act 2. And all you need from Paladin is his Smite. Then technically you switch to Warlock if you're just leveling, and we will use HEXBLADE, the new type of Warlock of course. Most importantly to get access to Hex and ability to inflict HEXBLADE Curse. On level 2 we get Eldritch Invocations, you can go with basic Agonizing and Repelling Plus, Hellish Rebuke will work, and if you wish to you can go for Shadow Blade. The pact should be Pact of the Blade, it will give us extra attack whenever we reach level 5 of Warlock, but at level 4 we're getting Hold Person, at level 5 we're getting this Deepened Pack for extra attack, and we don't need level 6, we can instantly switch straight into a Ranger. It doesn't matter what you will pick, you can go for 2-weapon fighting at level 9, and most importantly go for Hunter subclass, and we're going for Colossus Slayer. And then we're adding one more class, it will be Rogue. For Rogue unique ability, Sneak Attack. Technically build is ready, the last level can be any level you like. I would go for Woe Enmity on Paladin to gain advantage on attack rolls against any enemy. This complements our Sneak Attack a lot. So, what is the idea of this weirdest build you probably saw? Idea is to utilize the mechanic that called Damage Rider. Basically there's 2 types of damage source in Baldur's Gate. There's Damage Source and Damage Rider. Example of Rider will be something like Hex. So technically Hex doing no damage at all, and it only activates on some condition. And that's kinda the idea. Basically, we're stacking loads of damage riders that can be stacked upon damage sources. You want to set up your reactions nicely. The secret to make everything work, you want to actually have sneak attack on auto activation mode. You don't want it to be asked. And if you want extra power, you want ally with Faller Aloof, so he can cast Shriek, for example, and Crusader's Mantle for extra radiant damage. This little additions is insanely overpowered when stacked a lot. The dagger that you will find in Act 3 works really nicely, deals extra damage on crit, and any weapon with extra piercing damage will also work on hit. Even Sword of Life Stealing will work. The secret to make build even more broken is to use Helm of Arcane Acuity. Whenever you deal damage with weapon attack, you gain Arcane Acuity. This will give you +1 bonus to spell attack rolls and difficulty class. And you of course want to concentrate on Hex, but being able to use Hold Person is also nice. Right now this lady got 65% chance to be Hold Person. So by drinking potion with Broodmother's Revenge on, I will coat my weapons with extra necrotic damage, with extra poison damage, sorry. I will cast Vow Enmity on myself, so I will always have advantage on attacks, therefore I will always trigger sneak attack. I got light on my weapon, so we will deal extra 2 points of radiant damage, as well as we will be concentrating on some form of spell for extra psychic damage on top. Spell will be Hex. So now we're concentrating on Hex, coming close with our ally, so now everyone is affected by Shriek and will take extra thunder damage, and even by coming close he already is affected by reverberation. So now take a look at this hit. We will use Divine Smite manually, and that's how much damage we can unleash in one single hit. However, sneak attack only will trigger if enemy survives first hit, so we will need to find tougher guys than these ones. But these damage numbers. Oh yeah, did I mention we just got 10 stacks of Arcane Acuity, so on the next turn we can basically hex her with 99% chance and hit her with guaranteed critical hit. Oh my goodness. So the most craziest part, the Dollar Amorous actually gives us extra damage on top of any critical hit and on top of every damage riding or damage source, like whatever. So basically on crit we're dealing 2d6 piercing damage from Faller Aloof Shriek, with extra 7 from Dollar Amorous, with extra 2 from Callous Glow Ring, and all of this damage is so stacked. Oh yeah, and have I mentioned HEXBLADE Curse that will give us ability to crit more often, and Booming Blade Cantrip that can be used basically every turn as your first action. So just mash these guys like potatoes. That's definitely some crazy numbers. But of course our attacks is limited by our actions and bonus actions. However, upon reaching Act 3, you can get almost unlimited turns. I stumbled on this build idea on Reddit thread and started to develop it. So basically what you want to have is fighter with 2-weapon fighting style, focusing on main abilities as always, like Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Dual Wielder Feat, that will give you ability to wield any 2 weapons in different hands, and reach level 11, so you can get 3 attacks in one action. And to make build work, you need Helmet of Greed. It looks like exactly same copy of Arcane Acuity helmet, but you will find it in Act 3 in Casador Palace. It's really easy to get, it just lies in the chest. Also to make build work, you need Elite Powers, and you want to have Transfuse Health. You can play without it, but this makes everything a little bit easier. Just transfuse health to one of your allies and you will take exactly half of your health as damage. And depending on exact number, you still can have no second bonus action, but right now as you can see we have this extra bonus action. If it's still not available to you, you need someone to just hit you with unarmed attack for 2 damage and you will be golden. So just stay a little bit below your medium health. This will work. Now to pull everything off, guys on Reddit were discussing ability to go above and below hit points every turn. So that's like basic idea, because it will give or like subtract your bonus actions. And they were talking about Ritual Axe, but it's pretty random, so I decided that the best combination is actually Luviator's Scourge that you can get from Luviator in Act 1, and also Shattered Flail that you can also get in Act 1 from Flint, basically a gnoll boss. So now these 2 weapons, basically what they're doing: whenever you hit someone with the flail, you regain 1d6 hit point. Whenever you hit someone with a scourge, you will lose 1d6 necrotic damage, but it will be halved, so technically you will take from 1 to 3 necrotic damage. So just pump Elixir of Bloodlust, make sure a teammate can haste you, and turn off dual wielding, so you can manually attack with main or offhand. So now we're attacking with our offhand to regain hit points. It uses bonus action, so we get no bonus action right now, and we're attacking with the main hand that will lower our our hit points. So we're getting our bonus action back, and we can attack with our offhand again, so it will heal us, and we lose our bonus action, but we can attack with our main hand again, so we need to hit actually, that's the problem. We hit, we take damage again, getting our bonus action again, so we hit with bonus action, and in case we're out of actions, we can pop action surge, basically hit him again, take a little bit of damage, get bonus action back, and just continue this broken loop. It's so like funny and cool. Basically you're hitting until you lose a little bit of health to regain bonus action, then you like lose heal again, lose health again, and continue this cool and funny loop. And you can definitely unleash and get loads of extra bonus damage. Just stack some stuff that will give you this damage on hit, and you can easily do it without any problems. And while I was testing this stuff, I got this helmet on the hotbar. With just one unlucky misclick, I lost my bonus action. But then I found out that when you equip this helmet again, you get your bonus action back. Basically exactly how this mechanic technically works, with unlimited bonus actions. And that's when I decided to push this into extremely overpowered state. So the build and mechanic will work with any class, basically really with any class. But I will go for barbarian, and we will go for giant barbarian that can make a really overpowered for all barbarian build. And after entering into Act 3, you want to advance your elite powers and make sure you got transfuse health as well as mind sanctuary, so it won't take loads of tadpoles to get here. Now look at this line, this will allow to take actions and bonus actions interchangeably. Now, as like before, transfuse health to your ally and make sure you got this extra bonus action available. You can transfuse health 2 times if you want to make sure you get this 2 bonus action. And that's how build works basically. You put down Mind Sanctuary somewhere on the battlefield, make sure it kinda aligns to all other places. Now, for example, I can turn on Rage, it will eat my action. I mean bonus action of course. And as you can see, you are not allowed to unequip your helmet. But if you move it on your hotbar, now you can unequip and equip it, and you will get your bonus action back. You can even use dash and it will use your bonus action. Change helmet, unequip, equip it, you will get your bonus action back, and do it like 5 times in a row for example. And you will get 56 meters movement speed, or even more if you get some items for movement speed. So now you can get out of this circle with extra bonus action, kick someone in the face, get back into circle, unequip, equip helmet, and kinda play King of the Hill in this circle. Never let enemies go inside, while you can go back and forth pushing enemies with some nasty kicks and having loads of fun. That's like most important part. But again, if you want to make completely broken stuff, of course what you want to do inside the circle to use your like cool actions. For example, like throw of Balduran Giant Slayer, just throw it at this poor dude, he will take a bunch of damage, he is almost done. And yeah, we can do it like multiple times in a row because it's always back in our hands, but we're losing our bonus action from time to time. So we need to unequip and equip our helmet basically, and we're back again. Technically this will give you unlimited turns, as long as you basically keep unequipping and equipping your helmet while you have some bonus actions. And this technically breaks the game completely, because from now on you can just defeat anyone in one single turn, since this turn will never end. Basically never end. Yeah, this is probably the most broken build possible when you go into Act 3, because what can be more broken than ability to have unlimited turns? You can slam same idea on any other build I showed you in this video. Basically you can have Sorcerer with unlimited spell slots, stand over here in the zone and cast unlimited spells at the same time. It's insanely funny, cool, and most importantly broken. But here's the catch. I decided to try this build in solo honor mod run, and what I found that Mind Sanctuary gives you this interchangeable actions only on tactician difficulty. When you go on honor mode, this gives you different ability that basically makes haste area. You can guess it almost messed up my honor mode run, but I still managed to utilize this exact mechanic to one-shot final boss. If you want to see how it's done, watch it over here, and see you in the next videos.